I've realized that I've been hiding more than just hiding in the basement in the sauna while my kids are getting put to bed. I've been hiding a lot of pieces of me over the last few years, and it's all kind of coming to the surface. And I'm realizing how deep the hiding has gone. I'm understanding the wounds that still needed some time to heal. The ego that needed to be kind of realigned. The identity that needed to be rediscovered. The lack of confidence and self-esteem that had come from just listening to all the naysayers for a little too long. It's been a lonely couple years, and if you know me, you know that I thrive on being around people. It fills my energetic cup, if you will. It's such a breath of fresh air into my spirit and my soul when I can hear you, when I can hear about your life and your struggles and your triumphs and celebrate alongside you and just witness you and just have a little fun and camaraderie and companionship. And I've missed that because I've been hiding for so long that I've eliminated pretty much all of that from my life, and instead have stepped into what I would say is not serving me anymore. That identity is kind of shedding, and maybe has shed mostly and I didn't realize it, or is in the process of shedding. And I needed to go through a handful of stages to really get to this point where I've had the realization of how much I've been hiding, how much of a disservice I've done to so many people without even intentionally doing that. But because I've hid my light and I've dimmed my gifts and have really hidden the last few years, I've done things like stop producing a podcast, stopped sending weekly emails to people who seem to really enjoy them and resonate a lot of times. I've stopped posting for the most part on social media. Every once in a while you'll get a random like honeybee video, but that's about it. Or maybe a push for people to make wise financial choices, because I just hear too many stories of people having a tricky relationship with money, and it doesn't have to be that way. And so every once in a while I get a little just enough caffeine in me to just be like, fuck it, I just need to say this because people need to hear this, because it could make your life so much better if you took responsibility for that piece. And interestingly, I can apply that same sentiment to this piece of me, which has been interesting, that journey. A couple years ago now, I had gone through some stuff. And during that process, I did a lot of healing. I did a lot of personal exploration, just trying any modality that came into my ethers in hopes that it would just ease the hurt and the pain and the discomfort and alleviate the fear and just kind of take the pressure cooker release valve and really open it up for anger and hurt and sadness and depression and anxiety and all the crappy feelings. And I found a lot of what truly worked. And it wasn't pharmaceutical medication. It wasn't numbing with any of the ways that could truly be numbing. And actually, let me take that back. Any of the ways that could be truly numbing. I don't even know what that means. That just came out of me. Here's the thing. Anything can be our numbing. You want to hear a funny fucking fact right now? I am numbing with chickens. and plants. That the other day, I was over it with these plants, and I just put them all outside. And I'm gonna be honest, I've spent months and months trying to get these suckers alive, and I'm pretty sure they died in one day because I left them out overnight in Wisconsin in May. And it didn't care. It felt like a relief. Now I don't have to deal with these fucking plants, which is interesting because I thought I really liked them. But I don't like them enough to try and keep them alive. And the things that we love, we take care of. And what I realized is I was trying to take care of everything else, including chickens. But all of that so that I didn't have to look at the mirror and acknowledge that I wasn't taking care of myself fully. Over the last few years, I realized that I had gotten into a really interesting way of being. You know, it started off with all those negative feelings that I had mentioned. Big traumatic things happened in my life. And it took a couple years to work through that. And it's interesting because it seemed like it was one after the other, after the other. And it was exhausting. And looking back, it robbed me of so much living. Like I was there, but I wasn't there. I look at pictures and videos and I'm like, huh, I don't even remember that. That's crazy. And to me, that means that there was a lot of emotion that was getting stuck and trying to work through. And I'm so grateful for all of those experiences because they've led me down some very interesting, sometimes dark, sometimes really fascinating and inspiring paths. And because of that, I've come to realize that I had gotten into such a routine and a habit of being codependent. I have a really dreamy partner who is just, he's the coolest guy. I mean, I really hit the jackpot here, and I am dumbfounded on a regular basis why he sticks around sometimes. But actually, no, hold on a second. We were magnetized the moment we met. We knew this. Our souls and spirits needed to be together, and that's very clear. What I just said about not knowing why he sticks around, that is an old version of me that I am working on shedding, because I now love myself, and I only speak highly of myself. And when I catch myself saying those things, I ask myself, would I ever say that shit about my children? And the answer better be hell no, always. And if I'm not going to say that about them, I'm not going to say that about myself. So I'm going to love myself, and I'm working on that very, very diligently right now. But going back to it, I'd gotten into such a habit and a routine and an identity of hiding. You guys, I used to love doing my family's budget. I used to love, like, paying all the bills and, like, you know, staying on top of our personal finance statement and figuring out our trust and all of this, like, stuff to, like, be grown up. And interestingly, I will not even walk down to go get the mail most days. You're lucky if I open mail once a month. I literally either just pass it on to our unicorn, who pretty much runs our business at this point, and she pretty much does everything for me, whether she realizes it or not, or I just hope that Tony's gonna look at it, or maybe once a quarter I'll get enough caffeine in me where I think that it's time to just, like, I'm getting fed up, I gotta do this. Interestingly, there's so many areas in my life that I'm not fully taking responsibility, which is interesting because I really thought that I was a pretty responsible person. I'm like, yeah, I know, I get my kids at school, I know where they're going, I, you know, do all of these things. It's bullshit. I'm not doing enough. Well, not enough. That's another thing. Gotta work on that, because I'm not showing up fully and equally. I'm not sharing all of these cool modalities and things that I've learned. And I had this realization. A friend of mine is going through some pretty intense medical things right now. And as they're talking to me about these things, I can hear the stories and the patterns and, you know, the belief structure that she has, the paradigm, if you will, of where she's at. And I know to my core that paradigm is what is shaping her experience. And it's pretty shitty. She's getting infusions. She's exhausted. She's just taken a month off for FMLA just to like heal because she just is exhausted. And that breaks my heart because she is a phenomenal mother in person. Like, I'm inspired every time I see her. And so to watch that happen and not fight hard enough, that is not the old April. That is not the original, the true April. That is the hiding, low self-esteem April. That is going away. So if you've known her the last couple of years and you've enjoyed her, say goodbye. Because the new April is going to speak up. And if she's going to hear something that is reversible, or she hears somebody who's living in a paradigm that's no longer serving them and she can see it, I have an ethical obligation to speak up and to say what I know and what I know to be true and what I see as opportunity to heal pieces of people. Here's an example. My husband he went to school, his professional training, his career for a good chunk of his life is all on growing things and how to make grass beautiful. Okay. He has degrees in this. He has a lot of experience. He's great at it. My yard has so many dandelions, and quite frankly, I love it because my kids think that it's cool. And I think that's why secretly he leaves it the way it is. But, they always say that your own home is not, your own environment is not as good as it could be if you actually applied your gifts to yourself. Because so many people, if you're a painter, your home is probably the one that needs to be painted the most. Because you're so worried about filling everybody else up instead of yourself first. And that is going to be coming to an end for me. So this new April is going to do all the things that she knows she needs to do. She's going to meditate every day. Quiet. Sit in quiet. She is going to drink enough water. She is going to journal and free write and let things come out every day, whether she has something to say or not. She's going to move her body every day because when you move your body, you move your energy, and some people need that, and I'm one of those people. Yoga, did I say that already? Meditation. And then we're gonna document all this. I'm gonna be podcasting again because, guys, that just lights me up. It's who I am. And it's not for anybody else. I mean, it's fun to, see these different countries that it's getting downloaded in. But when it started becoming work, the fun went away. And I'm not interested in that. That's like a creative outlet for me, and I'd like to just be of service and to share and just put it out there because it's fun. Gosh, in another life, I think I might be a sound file editor because I'm not great at it, but it's fun to cut out all these bloopers and put those at the end. I think the end of my podcast is as fun as making the whole podcast. Especially when it's my baby's voices, which they haven't done for years, so we need to get on this because they're getting big. Okay, what else? Podcast. I think that's it for right now. I need to be quiet. I need to see what comes. I need to speak up when I see things and not hide because I'm too worried about people pleasing because fuck it. Life's too short. I gotta stop hiding and numbing with chickens and farming. And I need to start taking care of myself and taking responsibility. Getting up in the morning, loving myself, doing the work, putting in the reps. I know how to do this. I have gotten so good at making excuses that I didn't even realize they were excuses. I was just like, oh yeah, I can't do that. And I believed it. It's a paradigm. And if you've followed me for any amount of time, you understand that I truly believe that we just need to shift our paradigms through a whole lot of processes that it's not easy. It's not hard. I mean, it's not hard. It's like hard. But it's so worth it. And it's hard to even explain what that means. And I know it is worth it. And I know that my soul will be so relieved when I start showing up that way. Because I believe that I have an ethical obligation at this point to either share my gifts or they start getting taken away. And I'm way too young to get them taken away. So I'll start setting my sights on things that light me up. I'm going to start being of service. I'm going to start surrounding myself with other people who can also kind of rowdy alongside me, run alongside me, be my advocate and my cheerleader. Because it's now or never.